Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again with a endgame update for the Doryani's prototype Mjolnir Cyclone Inquisitor. By this point, he's hit level 93 and taken on quite a lot of the endgame out there. I've yet to do a lot of the aspirational content, the new stuff that's bigger, better, and more challenging than anything before, but for most of the previous vanilla content, it went pretty damn well. Very pleased with how the character turned out. Lots of thickness, lots of DPS, and a very smooth, buttery playstyle throughout this Scourge mechanic, and incorporating Scourge maps and Double Beyond and all that sort of shit. And it just went really quite nice. We ended up dropping Shock Nova from the setup because ultimately it just wasn't pulling its weight anymore. The area was too small and the damage isn't really anything to write home about compared to the arc. So it's just an arc set up in the chest and an arc set up in the Mjolnir. So just two arcs doing all of the damage, the clear single target, and it goes pretty well. Like, you do use Vile Arc every now and again for a really big sort of pack. It can get you in trouble though, especially on high tier Scourges, because stopping and doing a manual cast might be a bit too much, more than you can handle, given the slowness of the cast. But Vile Arc, an incredibly satisfying button to press, and we press it nonetheless. Of course, you love more tunnel-based maps like a Waste Pool or some shit. It just goes a bit nicer for the Cyclone and for your arc chaining. But nothing really stood in the way, and the only super dangerous thing is when you're getting to 150 plus Scourges. And of course, still really big lightning hits do come across as somewhat threatening because they're similar. The armor mitigation that we have is, similar to regular armor mitigation, where the larger hits are still going to deal more damage. So ultimately, the min-max for the character is still to get a timeless jewel where you cap out your Chaos Res and convert the other 50% of your Ellie to Chaos. This is an example of one of the big fat Scourge maps I was doing, which is completely fine. Lots of Double Beyond, lots of Scourge, no big deal. But it's also got minus max on there, and that gets pretty spicy. The minus max means you do start to cop a few one-shots here or there, and by all means, I'm still dying plenty on the character when we're doing the really thick, juicy content, but in general, it's pretty safe going if you've built it similar to the way I have. Lots of sort of life and ES regen and just armor, pretty decent, clear speed. Overall, it should be pretty good, and you can build it thicker, I do believe. We've got more than enough damage to satisfy most of the endgame bosses, as well as shocking them for 50%, which is pretty damn nice to see. On every single boss I faced, it was a nice clean 50% shock, so we're getting max value, and there's a nice clean death. Getting max value out of our shock and building into it that way. Still not at all sold on the passive tree, so by all means, if you want to incorporate like a cluster jewel on the left hand side and travel a whole lot less, it will stress your gear out more for stat wise and all that, but getting to minus 200 res for Doryani's prototype, it's just a cap. You can get there or you can not. It's not really super important because there's huge diminishing returns on the more minus res that you stack. Up to about minus 100, pretty damn important. Beyond that point, maybe try and hit minus 150. If you get to minus 200, terrific, but don't go out of your way sacrificing a whole lot of things that your character needs just to do it. It doesn't really signify anything, it's just the min-max for the cap that you can hit. So you can see the single target does go decently well. It's not the most mind-blowingly fast single target in the world. I think we've probably got like 3 to 4 million DPS in the end. So it's pretty quick for most of these bosses, reliable, and you've got a couple of buttons to press in the form of Vile RF and Vile Arc, and also the way I've set it up for my shield is to have a focus button for 15% double damage chance. But there are many different options you can run for your sort of shield that doesn't involve a focus, I suppose. Also did a Hall of Grandmasters, similar to the last time I did Doryani's prototype. I was pretty sure it was going to be good for it, just because giving everything minus res in this sort of map means that everything gets one shot, even the block dudes, as long as you can land one hit on them, and it goes pretty well. So went through the entire run pretty clean, and I do think you can farm these fairly reliably. There's just, as always, going to be a couple of sort of cock blocks at the end of the run, and you may have to throw a few portals at them. So that's the Claw guy, Putrefy, Rot, and Fester dude. So here I got like kind of stun lock, Cyclone bugged, and that was really annoying, but killed him as well. And then finished it off. And over here, that's a Cirrus, and that was just me testing a die beam to make sure I could take the entire thing, because I was feeling pretty thick. Turns out we can. Since I got the Pantheon for less shock reduction stuff, shock hardly does anything, and then I was just pressing the flask to mitigate Corrupting Blood immediately. And then lastly, I'll say that I tried some aspirational content, kind of, in the form of a simulacrum. Did one simulacrum, got up to wave 20, and got wrecked by a really nasty Kosis. And then did another one and got up to wave 24. So for the first time ever, went beyond 20 waves. And it starts to get pretty nasty. So each wave is pretty much as hard as wave 20. It doesn't really get much different, except there's just going to be different map mods, and eventually some of those map mods are going to screw you over. The character kind of just suffers from being a bit slow on his Cyclone, getting overwhelmed, and eventually getting caught up by a lot of mobs. So we got to wave 24, but as well as that, it just depends on the map mods that are out there. My Chaos Res is nowhere near capped, it's minus 15, so if there's extra Chaos and Chaos Pen, I'm just getting shit on, and if there's extra lightning damage and they hit really hard, getting pretty shit on as well. So there are things I could still maybe do to min-max, but not sure I'm going to really go too much for that. We'll see, and I'll post another video if there's some more endgame content to show. But for now, going to leave you with the Maven kill, first one of the league for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Just getting 50% shocked. So that's pretty good. And she's probably going to Cascade her Pain, so we don't want to be right in there. They just fucking fail. Big Sag. Is that 3 oaks? They were just like fucking triple leap slammed me. Good for them. Alright, so she's gonna teleport. Or not. Now she's gonna teleport. There we go. There's a voice line for Cascade of Pain, by the way. Not Cascade of Pain, Stand Still. I need to kill whatever spawns, because I do need some flask charges. God damn. I waddled my ass out of there and it almost cost me my life. Just ate all of the shit possible. Would not recommend you try that at home. For the record. I need to kill some ads. Adge. Oh god. They're in the wrong spot. Flasks should be good. Don't fuck it up. Oh god, I'm fucking it up. Dude, couple of circles. Did it? I wonder if I could take a Cascade of Pain. Oh god. Took the no regen beam. I am nothing but regen. Seriously? I have to do another fucking memory? Oh god. Oh god. I think that's right. Alright, nice. Sucks being Cyclone. But you know, it's still fine. These must be worth something these days, right?